Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pop Culture Pros proudly brings to you the greatest podcast in the world, starring Mellow Align, the Four Quarters Show. I am your hostess with the mostest, Mr. Swiss Roll, the main event, the showstopper, Mr. Halftime himself, Mellow. And as always, I am joined by the Scottie Pippen to my Michael Jordan, the Lionel Messi to my Cristiano Ronaldo, the Captain America to my Iron Man, Align.
I like the last one. I'm not sure I enjoy the first couple ones you did. But yes, Melo is still the Four Quarters champion. So with that being said, I'm going to say Happy Nacho National Day, right? Or Nacho Day or National?
National Nachos Day.
And also I have what Melo asked for. And you know I only get him the best of the best. So...
Why, thank you, sir. I will gladly love to drink this Pinot Noir from Miami.
Also, I haven't been feeling too well, so I haven't been drinking. Well, I did drink this week, which is why today I am not going to be drinking. I don't know if Melo's going to be drinking, but tonight when I'm not going to be drinking, so I got this other one for Melo. It's almost the same as mine. We'll see if we have that. But we do have two special things for you today. You'll find out an OT what the other one is, but the first one is since it's National Nacho Day. And do I keep messing this up?
Nachos Day.
Not today's just Nachos Day.
Nachos.
We have our special
Quattro Nachos recipe.
Yes, we do. We have a recipe. It's healthy. Like everybody has been listening to us, we're on a fitness journey. So we decided to come up with our own healthy nacho recipe. So that's going to be on our Instagram, on our Twitter. We're going to have the recipe ready for you. And we're going to be eating it live on the show right now.
Yeah, I'm actually going to, give you a little sneak peek of what these nachos look like down here. Look at those bad boys. Homemade guac, some nice healthy chips, some healthy sour cream, and cheese.
You want to get a little taste of that right now?
Of course I do. Hold on, let me set myself back up here. Bam, that was good there.
Let's see.
Oh. Sir, we're going to cheers it.
Cheers. Boom.
Man, that guac is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't notice, I am wearing, taco shirt. You can't see my socks, but they're avocado socks. I'm prepared for Nachos Day. And I want to address something before we start off. And that is Captain America is not better than Iron Man. Captain America is the villain for the last couple movies. So, Timmy, I'm sorry. You can get out of here with that nonsense.
Thank you, Timmy. Timmy knows what he's talking about.
But I'll let you address our viewers out there, new and old, of how the Four Quarter Show works.
Four Quarters is very simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4 quarters where Melo and I debate sports for 10 to 15 minutes each round. And we have a halftime after 2 rounds. Where in halftime, we go back and forth on a gamble that we made the previous week. The winner, as you saw, receives a gift from the loser, and the loser goes home empty-handed. That's what the winner receives the title. And then after the 2 final quarters, we have a special overtime where we discuss anything and everything that's not sports. Should I tell them what this one is this week?
You can go ahead and tease it.
All right.
Captain America is not better than Iron Man. I'm sorry for interrupting you. This is blasphemous.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Without Iron Man, there's no Captain America. I'm sorry. We're talking about MCU-wise.
So our halftime special is, a little... My name is Bond. James Bond. Has to do with some of that. So with that being said, let me put the time on the clock.
Thank you, Kenny. You actually, that's exactly why, you were the judge last week. You have some common sense here. And I have great taste, like Stella. All right, so I'm gonna put up the banner.
Well-
Quarter number one.
What cup do you want?
I'll stick with the OG blue. It has not served me wrong yet.
There you go.
Gracias. If you wanna
Go
pop
green.
this open up.
Yes, sir, please. So while he's popping that open, I'm going to get the clock ready. 12 minutes on the clock. And starting. All right, I'm going to start off the show with some NFL talk. And one of my favorite topics going on lately in the NFL is Antonio Brown joining Tom Brady down here. Well, up here since I'm in Miami. Joining him in Tampa. And now the best thing I could read is that Antonio Brown is moving in with Tom Brady. What is your take on that, Mello?
I'm absolutely shocked when you told me that you broke this news to me. And I was like, wait, that can't be a real thing. He's going to be living with this man? Like, all it shows to me is that Antonio Brown's already going to start being a headache for Tom Brady. Like, come on now. You think Giselle wants that? You think the Brady kids want that? She doesn't want to have him be influenced by the nut job that Antonio Brown is. So I don't think it's a good idea, and it's already causing him to be a headache. And if he actually becomes a headache on the field, what do you do then? Hey, sorry, Antonio Brown, you got to get the hell out of my house. Like, that's so awkward.
Antonio Brown will be on his best behavior. He's going to get an allowance like the little Brady kids while he's living there. Tom Brady gave him his own room, and he just told him the rules and said, Antonio, you're going to be a good player. You're not going to mess up, and we're going to win a Super Bowl because that's what's going to happen. Tom Brady is a leader. He leads his players, and now living with Tom is only going to show Antonio Brown what greatness is. So it's just going to make them a better team. They're going to have a number one receiver next to their other number one receiver next to their other number one receiver. This is undoubtedly the best offense in football. I'm going to say it right now. And this weekend, we're going to see it when Antonio Brown goes out there and becomes a top 3 receiver in the league after missing 2 years.
I'm going to go see, bro. He's going to screw this up again, man. What did we think about Josh Gordon? Josh Gordon, we gave him so many, not we, the NFL. And teams gave him so many chances, and he just proved that he couldn't get it right. No matter what, man, he couldn't just be straight edge and think more about, the millions of dollars he was giving up.
If you guys watch the show more often, you're going to see that one matter for second chances. I give everyone second chances. I've given Melo 20 chances. He's wearing a taco shirt right now. This man gets obliterated during brunch. And look, we're still here. He's getting his 18th chance with me. So, Antonio Brown, I have faith in you. You're my guy. You were the best receiver in the league when you left. You're going to come back and take back the throne. You're going to take it back. You're going to be number one, and you're going to show everyone why you're back. Yes, he's been a headache for a lot of the teams. He's been stressful. He's been for lack of a better word, he's been a cancer for a lot of the locker rooms with his presence and what he brings. But we cannot deny his talent and what he brings to a winning roster when he's finally appreciated. When you just appreciate Antonio Brown, he will give you everything. The Pittsburgh Steelers, he didn't have issues for the first, 5-6 years of his career. It was until Le'Veon Bell was getting released, and then Big Ben was just, I don't know what was wrong with his head.
He got knocked the hell out. That's what it was.
And then Antonio Brown wasn't getting respect. So then he went to Vegas, and then John Gruden, Chucky, he just wasn't giving Antonio the love that he wanted. So he was out. And then he actually did pretty well with the Patriots. But then those allegations came out. And that's still hanging over his head, but they're just allegations. And I feel the utmost confidence for Antonio Brown. Moving on to the next subject.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Moving on to the next subject, we have J.J. Watt wanting to leave the Texans with his comments saying he's not here for the rebuild. Melo, should he stay for the rebuild? What's going to happen with the team that's already been losing? Is this good for their quarterback psyche? What's going on?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be messing up any of this man's psyche. However, I do think that if it's up to him, yeah, why not leave? Your defense is not doing well. You guys are giving up like 30 points a game essentially. And it's not just, they can't just rely on J.J. Watt. So I definitely don't blame him for wanting to leave. He doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. He's either lately always been hurt, and he's only got a couple more years really on his body. So why not go to a championship contender? Whether they, I don't think he'll go to Tampa Bay, but like a Seattle, go get traded over there like everyone else gets traded from his team. So I can't blame him for saying that. More power to him. He's got to take control of what he wants at the end. Does he want more money, or does he want to win a championship? And I think at this point he wants to win a championship.
Oh, yeah, so it's okay for him to say comments like this, but if LeBron wants to leave Cleveland, it's the worst thing. Isn't J.J. Watt Mr. Texan? Isn't he from Texas? Shouldn't he stay? Oh, no, what does he want to do? He wants to leave. Okay for J.J. to say these things? Yes, it is okay, because that's what a player has a right to do. They have a right to go wherever they want to go, if they can, if they're not under contract. And if they are contract, you're allowed to tell your team, hey, I don't want to be here. But J.J. Watt's going to keep playing until they trade him. But he's being honest. I probably wouldn't have said it out loud. I wouldn't have said it in the media. But something must be happening in the organization where he's just tired. You know what he's tired of? He's tired of losing. Mm-hmm. Because at first I was kind of going with what Bill O'Brien was doing. I was sort of understanding you don't want to pay a receiver a lot of money. But then what I saw, what he traded him for, just didn't make sense. They sell their best starting left tackle to Seattle. A lot of these moves just didn't make sense, and now J.J. Watt is at the end of his career, at the point of his career, where he just wants to win, and I know he can definitely be I don't think a star player like he used to be, but definitely a great player for a team who needs that leader.
He can still be an Indomitian Sue, that he's out there.
Yeah, a great player. No, I'm saying not a star player.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
I definitely think he can be a great player in a team that can make it to the finals.
Super Bowl.
But yeah, let's talk about. So you told me about this next topic, so I'm gonna let you start it off.
So I was watching, I think it was Sports Center or something like that, or Scott Van Pelt Center, and I was very bothered by the Chiefs showboating. Basically,
wait, you were triggered?
I was triggered by the Chiefs, the way they were celebrating against the Jets. They were swag surfing in the middle of the field, like during when they were calling a play. When was it? I forgot who was it that jumped on top of Mahomes and was literally piggybacking him all the way to the bench. I was just after a touchdown, I was like, yo, if I was the New York Jets, have a backbone, man. If someone's doing that, either I'm going to go up to them and push them and have them stop, or in the next play, they're getting a receipt and they're going to be sat down, because that is not fine. I don't care if I have to get a 10-yard 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, because that's not flying around me. You're not going to take me as a joke. And right now, that is what the New York Jets look like. They look like a joke.
I love the wrestling reference there. For all of you who don't know, a receipt is when a wrestler is maybe giving a little too much on the work, maybe, pushing too much or doing something a little too drastic. And the opposing wrestler receiving this gives a little receipt, knocks him in, or shows him, hey, slow down, big dog. Slow down, Bobby. But for me, when it comes to celebration, if you don't want to see me celebrate, then don't let me score. I am all for it. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want under the rules of celebration. I know the NFL has a 2-pump, 3-pump, 4-pump, 5-pump, 6-pump, 7-pump. You can't pump too many times. But for me, it's not a big deal. You can go on, celebrate as much as you want, get it going, dance, jiggle, pick people up, do whatever you need. Do the cam.
I guess maybe it bothered me more that the Jets did absolutely nothing about it, and then went on to get murdered. At least just fight for something, but you're not fighting for anything. You guys look pathetic.
They can't do much. They're awful. They're awful. They're almost as bad as the New York Giants. But we'll get to that in the next segment, in the next quarter. So don't get ahead of yourself. This next one is probably my favorite topic of this quarter. So we're probably going to end the quarter with this one. And it's Russell Wilson spending. I'm sorry, the word says spending, but it should say investing $1 million on his body. Is that too much? Too little?
It's 1 million plus because
1 million plus.
he goes over it apparently a couple times. And I read what it was. It's like cooks. He has hyperbolic chambers, personal trainers, and I'm like, damn, bro, I want to be Russell Wilson's cook. Imagine,
2 cooks.
yeah, it's 2 cooks. I'm saying I just want to be one.
Oh.
I just want to be one of them.
Yeah.
Give me a sous chef. But man, that's impressive, and it's something that he learned from LeBron. LeBron started this all. He started, taking care of his body, making sure that it lasts. And obviously, you see what Russell Wilson. I can't remember a time when Wilson was hurt, where it was like, oh, Russ isn't 100%. He's not hurt. He's always carrying that team either without, a good defense or whatever weapons are not there. He's carrying the team, and they've been relevant. They've got to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. Could have won 2 if it wasn't for, Pete Carroll making a bonehead call.
Melo, this is exactly the reason why Russell Wilson is not just great, but a superstar. These are the things that separate people from being great and superstars. If he does not do this, he's not up there. And what a lot of athletes need to understand is you got to invest in your body. You got to train not only on the off season, but on the regular season. The working class, we work every day. We have to keep working every day to make our money and grind. When you're a great athlete and you're making these millions, you kind of forget what the normal life is like. So you're not grinding all year round. People like LeBron James and Russell Wilson are being mindful and grinding every day, knowing this is their job, this is their livelihood, and this is what's going to make them great. So I give big ups to Russell Wilson for what he's doing. Seems to be a great father to Sierra's son Future and to his child. So I appreciate what he does, and he's also showing the young kids how smart it is to invest in your body and keep training. This is something I feel Dwayne Wade would have definitely benefited from if he would have done this and he would have trained. We all saw Dwayne Wade's greatness. I'm not here to say that he would have been even greater, but investing in your body, giving it your all. Someone who does fitness, I could truly appreciate what he's doing, because people gave up on Russell Wilson when he lost the Legion of Boom, and maybe it's his work ethic. Also, reading the playbook. Maybe it's him being a leader that was always acknowledged in the beginning. But we're definitely investing $1 million plus in your body is big, like huge, so tremendously helpful. But with that, that's the end of the first quarter. Melo, these nachos,
they're delicious. I've been just holding myself back because I don't want to be crunching into the mic.
The quarter, the quarter, damn, the quarter nachos with cheese. That's what I like to call them. The quarter nachos with cheese.
So good.
Give me some more drink.
Damn. You inhaled this.
The sparkling grape juice is delicious, guys. Listen, this is amazing. All right, I'm starting the next 12 minutes. Second quarter. Melo, let me start it off. Second quarter. We have, continuing some NFL talk, tell me about this NFL 16-team playoff that's being...
So basically what they're talking about is having 8 teams. And I guess, there will be no bye weeks. It'd be 8 teams from each conference. Obviously the division and then the best records after that. So 1-8, 2-7, kind of like how baseball did it, that no one had a bye. It was just straight up like that. And I kind of don't mind that. Even though... No, you know what? I don't mind it, especially because up until last week, the NFC West had all teams. They were all over 500. They all had 5 games won. So there was a chance that all those teams would have made the playoffs under this new format, but not under the old format. So I think it's a good way, rewarding other teams for, doing well, and I don't know, keeping themselves confined during this pandemic. However, now we know the Niners aren't going to be there, but we'll talk about that a little bit.
This is just another thing showing me how the NFL just doesn't care about its players. You're adding more teams to a playoff in a league that you're increasing the games every week. So you're increasing the games per season, and now you're increasing the playoffs, which is only going to increase more games. So are we thinking about player safety? Are we even caring anymore? We're just going to keep adding games because next they're trying to do 20 games a season. So if you do 20 games a season,
There was no preseason though, so they missed out on 4 games that they always play and they complain about. Give them an extra game.
so this 16 playoff team is for this season only. I guess that's where I was confused. I thought they wanted to make this.
No, I think it was for this year.
Oh, okay, that's wrong. Then I'm wrong. If that's for this year, then yeah, I'm in. I'm in. The players are going to get paid more. There's going to be more ratings. The politics will be done by then, anyways.
I think what they were trying to do before was 7 teams and only the first seed gets a bye. I think that's what they were implementing this year, but obviously all this thing happened, so now they're trying to do this 8-team, no one gets a bye, and then you move on. I don't know if they're going to continue that after the season, but I know that that's what they want for this season at least, kind of like how baseball did theirs for this season.
All right, then yeah, I think 16-team playoff, especially in this season, where it's been craziness, and I feel we need some more Cinderella stories. And I mean, what better game other than football will show you like a March Madness type schedule? So that'll be pretty interesting to do.
But I know that they also had a couple issues because they're also if they have to account for if, let's say, the Titans have another COVID outbreak. They already used their bye week in week 4, so now they don't have a bye week anymore. If they get another outbreak like that, that has to get taken into consideration. I forgot what the solution was to it, but that it was also in that mix of these new playoffs.
Well, we don't get paid enough to figure those things out, and even if we did, it's not that they're going to call us. So a 16-team
Not yet.
playoff would be cool. I think it'll bring happiness to a lot of cities around the country to get more opportunities to play. Our next topic is probably my favorite one in this quarter, and it has to do
My nachos.
I want to say for the rest of the quarter we'll probably be talking about the New York Giants, right? And there was a recent incident where during the game where Daniel Jones and his New York Giants were pretty much botching a game they could have won against Tom Brady and Tom Brady's Buccaneers. So Golden Tate's wife decided to Instagram post a couple comments that I loved, and I will read some that I liked out loud. Apparently, she was receiving a lot of text messages, and she was just saying, Golden Tate's wide open, wide open, wide open, wide open. I know, she says. I mean, yeah, give him one chance in the fourth quarter. Of course he comes down with the ball. He's Showtime Tate. He is so underutilized. As his wife, she can't even watch with her eyes open. I mean, Daniel Jones is playing with his eyes closed, so tell me what's going on. I mean, these are what's going on.
So I'll start off by saying this. Maybe his wife should go and look at the entire game and not just one player, because then she would realize that Daniel Jones doesn't have enough time to get him the ball, because as soon as he hikes the ball, he already has 4 behemoths on him. That's number 1. Number 2, where was all this talk when Golden Tate was hurt and out? How many games last season? I didn't hear any of this. Oh, this, and that. This, and that. No, it wasn't there because, she was too busy watching him on his bed. Right? So I think this is just nonsense. Yes, I'm gonna say it right here live for everyone and for you as well. After this past game on Monday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I am done defending Daniel Jones for this season.
Wait, can you repeat that one more time so the people in the back can hear you?
I am done defending Daniel Jones for the rest of the season.
That's like really big.
And my reason for it is because they could have beat the Bucks, and he's making the same mistakes. It's already going on two seasons where he's making the same careless mistakes of not knowing when to throw the ball outside, take the sack. I get it, you're trying to do more, but you're hurting the Giants. Both plays, they were making their way down.
So what you're saying,
the
some of the sacks aren't his own line's fault because he's just throw it away.
Well, no, I'm saying he's getting hit. He shouldn't be. He's not getting enough time. He's the most blitz quarterback in the league.
So it's not his fault then. Why are you giving up on him? It's his O-line's fault then.
I didn't say I'm giving up on him. I'm saying I'm done defending him. In the fourth quarter, there was twice where where finally he said, "Okay, I'm gonna throw this ball out into the end zone, not at the end zone, but out onto the sideline, so he doesn't have to take a sack or have to throw it," which was smart. He finally learned after 3 quarters of doing it, and he still brought him back to almost tying the game and going to OT. So he has the potential. I'm not done giving up on him, but I'm done defending him. I'm not gonna bash him either. Next year, depending on what the Giants do in the draft, get a better offensive line.
They should get a quarterback.
They shouldn't get a quarterback.
Look what the Cardinals did. The Cardinals decided to get rid of Josh Rosen, who was doing nothing. And now how about the Giants fire their coach, get someone like Kingsbury.
It's not the coach's fault.
You know what? Go get Kane.
This is the coach's first year. How's his fault?
Who's Lane Kiffin? Go get Lane Kiffin.
He
needs to be in. Someone like Lane Kiffin needs to be in New York.
Lane Kiffin is the equivalent to Mike D'Antoni.
No, he's not.
Yes.
Listen, you get that man a good quarterback, you're gonna see something. Look,
No.
Arizona did it. They got they saw their mistake. I give props to the Cardinals. They saw their mistake. They got rid of it. Gave it to the Dolphins. And now they got the number 1 pick, got a great quarterback, and they're winning ball games. The Giants could do the same thing. They have players. They probably have top.
Rosen was not putting the Dolphins or Arizona in games to win. At least Daniel Jones was doing that.
Daniel Jones is 1-6. You know what? We should probably compare the first 2 years of Josh Rosen. We haven't. How about you talk to the fans right now while I go see Josh Rosen's second year.
Well, like I was saying, I'm done defending him. However, up until next season, when he finally has 2 full years under his belt, hopefully the Giants fix the O-line problem. Get him some. Hopefully, you get Saquon back healthy, all these guys healthy, and he has full-on weapons. Then I'll start to be like, okay, he's doing well or he's doing bad, and criticizing him. Because right now, like I said, he's the most blitz quarterback in the league, and he has 2 seconds to throw the ball every single time. That's not fair to him. He has no running game because anytime he passes the ball for it to be run, again, the running back's getting hit immediately. And he hasn't had Saquon, so it's really big.
I hate that you blame O-line. You know what? When you're a good quarterback, you can have a bad O-line. You throw the ball.
Tom Brady has never had a bad O-line in his entire career.
You don't need.
That's why
he's
great.
A great O-line.
Yeah, you do. Tom Brady's proving that.
All right. Well, guys, Josh Rosen's incredibly awful. He's a terrible quarterback. His first year was atrocious. His second year with the Dolphins. I thought that was at least his third year. He got traded for his second year. Wow. So Josh Rosen was a bad example to compare.
Thank you.
But I will say Daniel Jones is having a worse season than last season. He's actually getting worse.
I mean, last
that's
season he only played like
reminiscent
6
of
games.
Baker Mayfield, if anything. Do you guys have so that Baker Mayfield would be a better comparison?
No.
I don't know.
Let's go on to the last topic.
The last topic, my favorite topic, which we're probably gonna finish off the quarter with, is staying with the Giants and quarterbacks. Tell me, between Eli Manning, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and Phillip Rivers, who were all drafted together, who's the best quarterback out of the 3?
So define best. What am I looking for? Am I looking a quarterback who's going to win me a Super Bowl?
Just give me the overall best. Hall of Fame, who's ranked higher? Who's the best one there? Typing in Mello on Facebook, and boom, there he pops up.
Unfortunately, I'm going to give it just because he's still playing and he's been so durable. I'm going to say, even though, he's got some off-the-field issues that I don't want to put him in that spot, but it definitely will be Big Ben, then Eli, and Phillip Rivers comes in, coming in behind him in a bandwagon somewhere.
The easy answer here, Mello, is Big Ben Roethlisberger. He's the best quarterback out of the 3.
I wouldn't say he's the best. He's just the most durable.
He is the best quarterback out of the 3. We can go check stats. We can go check winning season record. And we can go check Super Bowl rings / appearances.
He's what, 2 for 3 in a
Big
Super
Ben,
Bowl.
you know you can't argue this. You barely
Of
have an
course I
argument.
can.
Okay.
He's 2 for 3. He was never the key factor of them winning the Super Bowls. It was his defense or his running back. Eli Manning, on the other hand, put the team on his back. Not only that, but defeated one of the greatest teams in history. The team that if they didn't beat would be above and beyond your 72 Dolphins right now.
So that makes Eli Manning a great player. No, I'm just saying because
saying that
I
he's
know
not as great, but
no, I know.
Eli's
That,
won
I'm
2
just saying.
Super Bowls.
I'm just saying. There's a guy
and
named
in
LeBron
both-
James who beat the greatest record of all time, who would have the best record, instead of Michael Jordan's, and LeBron James did that. So what you're saying is that's equally great when a player does that.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
But-
okay. Just wanted to clarify that.
No,
From
you're
when
right.
we have talks
But
about LeBron
Eli
James.
Manning didn't get help from the league and say, "Hey, you know what?
Eli Manning got
we're gonna
help from-
suspend Malcolm
from
Jenkins.
a couple lucky
We're gonna
catches. That's what he got.
suspend-
He got help from
We're
his
not going to
receivers.
suspend Nate Soldier.
LeBron
We're not
doesn't
going to suspend Wes Welker. What did the league do for LeBron James? Oh my God!
That's part of the game.
Draymond Green walked over LeBron James. Hey, no, we got to suspend him for Game 5. That killed their
That's part of the
their
game.
entire momentum.
Brady,
No, it's not.
you were
the
up-
league got involved in
You
that. and
were
that was
up
no reason for him
3-1.
to
You were
be-
up 3-1, and you're
he
going to
should have not
complain
been
because you
suspended
lost
a game.
one player.
That the momentum shifted that game.
Oh, you're that bad of a team that the momentum shifted?
Of course.
Oh,
you lost,
wow.
you lost your main defender
Sorry, Warriors.
for Game 5.
I guess Clay and Steph aren't enough for you. You lost your third best player.
Your main defender.
Jesus.
Your triple-double machine. Of course that's going to
That
be
is
huge.
ridiculous. To
That's if
even say
LeBron James would have lost Tristan Thompson.
that. Who has a better overall season record? Big Ben or Eli Manning?
Big Ben.
Okay.
Who's had the better teams? Who's had Hall of Famers playing on their team? Because as I checked, Eli Manning right now has played with this many Hall of Famers. Me and you have played with the same amount of Hall of Famers as Eli Manning has.
So Michael Strahan.
On
is
offense. On offense.
Michael Strahan is
On
nothing.
offense.
I can think of some.
Tell me, please. Is it Plaxico Burress? He's in the Hall of Famer of what?
Did he play Tiki Barber?
Tiki Barber Hall of Famer? That's very
He
questionable.
should be. I know Rondé is. Yeah, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I'm thinking busy with.
Shockey, he's also not a Hall of Famer. He's great, not a Hall of Famer.
You got to give us some years though.
Maybe Armani
What Hall of
Tomer?
Famers has Big Ben played with?
It's Antonio Holmes. The Bus.
Currently in the Hall of Fame, Santonio Holmes.
He's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
In that case, Plaxico Burress is going to
He's
be a
not
Hall
gonna
of
be a Hall of
Famer.
Famer. Plaxico's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Plaxico
Sorry.
Burress has to be a Hall of Famer. Are you
He played with
kidding
the
me?
Bus.
Listen,
All right, is the Bus not a Hall of Famer right now? Because I
Bro.
guarantee he is.
bro. Mario Manningham is going to be a Hall of Fame since we're throwing out names with the catches he made. Come on, Jeremy Shockey will be a Hall of Famer.
David
then.
Tyree too, right?
Jeremy Shockey has to be a Hall of Famer. He better be. He better have a statue of like a ball, like however he caught it on the helmet.
All
I need
right,
some more of
guys.
this grape juice.
That is the end of quarter number 2. Here you go, sir.
So now we're in halftime.
Now we're in halftime. And you know what that means, that the champ, he's been out the whole game because, he's always here, always doing work. But, now you know. The first ever 2-time halftime champion, the longest reigning, defending, undisputed halftime champion is here. And he's going to continue. You know what? I'm going to beat my longest 10 episode streak. Right now I'm what, at like 4? 3? I think it's 3. 3 shows. I'm gonna get there. No worries, guys. Stay patient.
We're gonna check the
You're gonna
tapes.
see
We're
some
gonna check the
records
tapes.
broken soon.
You won
this
it.
ba- this
You
baby
won.
ain't
Hold
going
on. You
nowhere.
won it the UFC one, and then we had episode right after that.
This one's not going anywhere.
You're not drinking that wine alone. You're gonna leave it back there with the title.
I'm gonna leave it back there with the title.
So we can have that one
Might
together.
mail me. I'm just saying, Oh, it
All
feels
right.
good to be
Okay. So
champ.
this is what's going down, guys. What do you want if you somehow retain the title?
Oh, you mean when I retain the title? Like I have
Okay,
the
guys.
last
Welcome
3
to halftime. This is where we debate about nothing. I'm the one debating in my mind because I lost again.
I just don't know why you try.
So what do you want
beat
next
me.
week?
If anything, you should get a ringer.
Okay, he's about to eat a chip. So what I want for next week...
maybe have Kenny.
What I want next week is mame shakes. One for me, one from you. From Latin Cafe 2000. I get en Legume.
Heinz Ward. Hall of Famer right there.
You're going to get me 2 mame shakes. One for me, one for you. And some croquetas. Croquetas. I told you to make it easy. You have them from Jamon. You can get them from Latin Cafe 2000. Not really my favorite ones. But La Isla Cararia has the best, those are legit.
I'll choose where I get the croquettes from.
All right.
But I'll definitely get you your mame shake from over there.
2 mame shakes, because you're going to get one. That's part of the game, 2 mame shakes. All right, what do you want?
What the halftime champion wants. And I saw it today when we were at Publix. And I was like, you know what? That's exactly what I want next. And I want none other. Wait, I want to make sure that I say this right.
It's like a secret drink I didn't see. We were at Publix together, by the way, so we had breakfast together.
I want the Capriccio Sangria.
Wow. Wait, is that the one that came in a can?
No. I think they might have it in a can, but no, it's the one that's it's a tube, like a bottle, and it has like polka dots on it in all different colors. It's basically the Four Locos of Sangria.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's not in a can.
No, it's in a bottle. Think of it like this.
Okay, it's in a bottle. Okay, Capriccio Sangria. That's what he wants. I thought you were going to go with the fit wine. We saw some fit wine.
I was going to go with it, but you know what? I'm going to leave that after, I saw the Sangria, and now you're still on your mame shake. I might have to get it for you just to, because I feel bad. But like I said, why don't you have Kenny make your picks? I guarantee Kenny's going to make better picks than you.
All right, Kenny, I'm going to call you next week so we can decide on some picks. But this week, picks are in. We can't change them. That's it. We discussed it. First game, Seattle versus Buffalo. Melo got Buffalo. He finally has the best team in New York. Smart man. Chicago versus Tennessee. You know me. I love to lose. So I got the Bears again. Every time I get the Bears, Melo gets Tennessee. Baltimore versus Indy. Melo has the home team again for 3 straight games on that one. He has Indy. Phillip Rivers, which is totally messed up because we didn't even discuss him in that Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger debate.
Phillip Rivers so
messed up of us. Then we have New York Giants versus Washington football team, which we all know who Melo picked. New York Giants.
The Washington football. Oh, what?
Miami versus Arizona. I kept, home team, the 305. You know how we do here in the county of Dade. All right? Shout out to UD. Mr. Miami. All right, then
Subway?
we got... Huh?
Mr. Subway?
Mr. Subway. Next, we got New Orleans versus Tampa Bay. Melo got New Orleans. He got Team Breeze. I got Team Brady. Antonio Brown's back. That's gonna be an amazing game. And then, last but not least, we have the battle of the former Los Angeles Raiders, or now Las Vegas,
Oakland Raiders
versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Just kidding. The Los Angeles Chargers. They've been playing like the Clippers, though. So that's going to be a good one. There are picks. 7 games. Best of 7. Let's see who wins.
I'm really hoping the Raiders don't screw it up for me again this week.
Also, remember, guys, these nachos that we're eating, we're going to have it on our Instagram. We're going to show you the recipe. We took some pictures. This is actually a low-calorie dish that we did because we know everybody's trying to eat healthy. We made the guac from scratch. We made it ourselves. We did, did everything we needed to do. Chopped everything up. So much fun to make. And it's delicious. It'll be on our gram. And that's the end of halftime. On to quarter number 3. Let me get it going. 12 minutes on the clock. Melo started off.
All right. So recently, yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, it was announced that the NBA has finalized and agreed on a start date for the 2020-2021 season, and that is on December 22nd. And this put so many of the NBA players in some sort of rage. I don't understand why, but I'll let you kick it off. What do you think about this?
Well, it's understandable why players are in rage. I mean,
you're right. After 4 months off,
the season's already started. The season just ended. Give these guys a break. You're throwing them there. You're gonna cause injuries. Or they need more rest? Are they ready? You're just throwing them off the loop.
So you don't agree with it?
I don't agree with them starting December 22nd. As a fan, I'm excited, but as an athlete, I can only imagine how awful that feels for for the two teams that just finished playing, for the Heat and for the Lakers. Man, they just got a grueling a 6-game series. I think it's too soon. I don't see what's wrong with making it in January. I think a Martin Luther King Day game start off will begin. Clearly, this is off for money. They lost billions. For the league, it's smart. You got to recoup a lot of this money that you lost. You got the Christmas Day games that are going to be bank. Probably more games than usual too. I don't agree with it. I think it's unfair for the players. I'm still excited for it. I'm not mad. I really want to see the other players play. I want to start the season. What?
I don't agree with you. I think they just want to continue to be babied, and I think they need to stop. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. How your season normally goes into until what, July? And from March, you had April, May, June, July, because you didn't start till August. You had 4 months off. 4 months that you're normally playing if you're in the playoffs. And you're going to complain because they want to start it earlier. You're playing less games. You're playing 72 games, not 82 now. And it's going to go back to normal. What are you complaining about? You're getting paid your millions. You're going to be back at home making all this other revenue. Stop complaining. Like, I don't understand why they're whining. And LeBron James is the biggest whiner I've ever seen in my life. And he's still whining. You just won an NBA championship and you're complaining about this? Man, be happy. Celebrate your championship. Enjoy it. I don't get it. What are you guys doing now? They're not doing anything. Right now, they're quarantining.
LeBron is training.
Doing anything.
LeBron spends 1.5 plus million on his body. He's training. So that's why he needs a little extra rest. But what Melo means about complaining is that LeBron had some comments earlier before this was agreed upon that Danny Green had reported or quoted LeBron on saying that if LeBron James, that if the league started in December, LeBron James was going to take a month off, that he was not going to play the opening games, and if he did, he was just going to cherry pick the first month because that's why he has Anthony Davis. Not sure if he was saying this in jest, not sure if he was being serious, not exactly sure what the hell's going on because sometimes I don't know what LeBron's thinking. But that's what Melo means by LeBron is a baby. Did you say he was a baby or did you say he was?
I said he was whining, so yeah, you could call him a baby. You would think I'd be drunk with all the whining LeBron James does.
Kenny, I'm not sure about if it's going to be a bubble or not. Or I'm pretty sure now that there's been limited audiences in the World Series and there's been limited audiences in NFL games. They're probably going to be able to go on the road now. I think they're gonna just risk it and see and just try to stay safe. The NBA is probably thinking MLB teams and NFL teams are way larger than us. We have less people,
but they're all in the open air, whereas the NBA is in the arena. It's enclosed. So I see them trying to do it because I feel like a lot of things that were addressed were that these stadiums and owners lost a lot of money on revenue and seating and all that other merchandising and food concessions. So I think they will bring it back. But yeah, I'm going to get LeBron James for Christmas some cheese for all the whining he does.
I love it. I love everything about that. Oh boy. I'm down the wrong.
So I'll get us over the next.
No. We're not done with that topic.
We're not done.
No, because I love the fact that LeBron said, I'm going to take the whole month off. Yeah, just do like Kawhi Leonard. Take the time off. Who cares? Kawhi does it all the time. All these players always do it. Take the time off, rest your legs, because LeBron, we're going to need you when we need you.
I guess you forgot LeBron took all of last season off. LeBron took all of last season off. I guess you forgot that.
LeBron did not take all of last season off. He was there, and he made it to the finals, and he continued playing like everybody else.
It's time for playoff LeBron.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go sit on the bench for like the last 20 games.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Haters going to hate. Put some damn respect on LeBron's name. Go. Now you can continue to the next one.
So next up, we're going to talk about something that we talked about last show. And it's funny that we mentioned this. And it was we're talking about Amari Stoudemire getting hired for the Brooklyn Nets as an assistant coach. And you made a particular comment that day. And the comment,
a prediction.
And you said, why don't they go out and hire Mike D'Antoni as an assistant coach? And I start cracking up and saying they shouldn't hire that man for anything. But lo and behold, the Brooklyn Nets went out, and the next day,
They were watching the show.
they called up and they're like, "Yo, these guys just had a brilliant idea. You know what we're doing?
So
We're get Mike D'Antoni over here to Brooklyn."
those guys know what the hell they're talking about. That guy online, the one who wasn't the champion, but he should be the champion again, he knows what the hell he's talking about. I called it. They're going to call everybody from that team. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a smart pickup because the Nets need a goddamn coach. They don't have a real coach. So this is a good start to having a coach. Because according to Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, they don't need a coach. This is a good start. The second thing that I am concerned about, and I don't understand, is why are you getting a team that never made it to a championship? You are getting players and a coach that never made it that far. I mean, if you're going to tell me you want to rebuild the Lakers or the Spurs or a Heat championship team, you want to rebuild the Pistons who won the championship? Be my guest. But you're rebuilding and getting players from a system that didn't make it that far. That's what I'm getting.
They made it to a Western Conference Finals. So
I said championship.
They made it. That's a
Why?
Western Conference championship. That's a championship technically.
A finals championship.
Okay,
I don't want to make it to the Western Conference championship. I want to be a finals team. Oh, you're right. They're doing what D'Antoni loves to do. This is D'Antoni's MO. I feel D'Antoni sees championship and he's good. That's all. I made it to a championship. He always makes it to a conference championship, and that's it. The Rockets, the Suns, and now we're gonna see it again.
They didn't do it in New York.
In the Nets. I don't think anyone can fix that problem. You got to get rid of everything.
Oh man. All right. I don't have much to say about it. I was just completely shocked because D'Antoni's one of those guys I feel like he's had his chances, man. Just let him go. He's had his time. Let him enjoy, being a grandpa, a dad, whatever he wants to. But yeah, no.
Well, they need a coach.
Coach your local high school team. But
Yeah, the
get out of
Nets.
the NBA.
The Nets, because he has two players in there who are not leaders. Just probably have the leadership of a high school kid.
Who?
The Nets.
Well, who are the two that aren't leaders?
Kyrie Irving,
Kevin Durant's a leader.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, I forgot, 2 Finals MVP against the greatest of all time.
That doesn't
is nothing. You're right.
That doesn't make you a leader. Being
He
a
led the
MVP.
Warriors. He said, "Warriors, come with me to the promised land."
He's
And
not
I
a
got you.
leader. Steph Curry was the leader of that team.
He was not the leader.
He was the leader. Draymond Green and Steph Curry had that team and they were leaders. Last time I checked, that team won a championship without Kevin Durant. So they already had a voice and a leader.
And they also lost one without him. But how many
That's
did they
fine.
lose with him?
But what I'm saying is they already won. They had a coach and they had a leader. Kyrie Irving, not a leader. I don't think we could debate that one. That's an easy one.
You're right. Kyrie hasn't been the leader, but he can always get there. Give him a chance, man.
All right, we'll see. Watch. All right, next up, last thing, we have some Heat talk for the rest of the quarter that I'm excited about. The Miami Heat made it very far, made it to the finals this year, which is to all of our surprises. Not. This show talked about the Heat making it to the finals. But what do you think if the Heat trade Tyler Hero? There's been rumors. That Tyler Hero could get traded to the Pelicans for Drew Holiday. Or should we only trade it for Giannis? Because I hear Giannis is training in Greece and then trains in Miami. So I think Giannis is liking that weather.
He's liking that warm weather. No one likes Milwaukee weather.
Do we trade Tyler Hero?
If it's for Giannis, yes. Because you know what you're going to get from Giannis. You don't know what you're going to get from Tyler Hero yet. We might have just seen the best of Tyler Hero now. We know what we're going to get with Giannis. Two-time MVP, one-time Defensive Player of the Year. You know what he's going to bring to the table. With Tyler, we still don't know. So that's a risk I would take. Am I trading Tyler Hero for Drew Holiday? Absolutely not. That's blasphemous right there. So I would never do that. Tyler Hero is one of those pieces, like I said. It has to be for a big name like Giannis. Same thing with, I feel like, though, if we're getting Giannis, we might have to throw in Bam there because I don't know how him and Bam would work together. I feel like that puts us at a big liability where you better hope Duncan Robinson is making all his shots or Kendrick Nunn is making all his shots as well. Because if not, it's going to be struggle bus city.
You know what? Melo, I hate when I agree with you on things, but I agree with you on this one. It's an easy one. The Kyrie better than AI. Worst Melo take ever. Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was okay. Yeah, I want to make sure that was yeah. When you say Kyrie's better than AI, I'm still getting messages about that. People are like, "What's wrong with this guy?" Agreed on that, Kenny. That was
Kyrie
crazy.
has a ship.
Okay,
AI don't got.
I was talking. I was making sure. Okay. Yeah, Giannis. You trade anything for Giannis. That's open. You want Tyler? Get Tyler. You want Tyler and Duncan? Get both, and you get Giannis, and we'll just find a shooter for you. Go get Kyle Korver. He's an older Nate. An older
JJ Redick.
Whatever. Yeah, JJ Redick. He's pretty expensive, but we can probably figure that out somehow. But Giannis, please, Giannis, if you're listening, the Heat organization wants you. It's the end of the quarter, but we will get anything for you. The fans will love you, and the weather's beautiful. Come to South Beach.
I was gonna say, and so are the women, but I forgot. He's married. He's got his baby. He's married, so let me not go there. I don't want her mad at me.
That's the end of the quarter. Melo, on to quarter number 4, where I'm gonna set the timer again.
Everyone, throw them 4s up, baby.
Throw them 4s up. Starting the quarter now.
There's some 4s in this house.
This quarter is going to be a little of everything. We're going to have NBA talk, MLB talk, NCAA talk, and UFC talk. The first thing, it's a quick one. Dwayne Wade had some comments about Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is the potential up and coming first overall pick, or second. But the Warriors could possibly land the next Dwayne Wade. That's how good this kid is. And Dwayne Wade was pretty much just saying, you don't got to be the next Dwayne Wade. You could be the next Anthony Edwards. You could be better than me. So that was pretty nice of Dwayne Wade to say. He's a really good kid. Anthony Davis looks like a stud, looks like a baller. Anthony Edwards. Man, what's in this sparkling grape juice?
Anytime he starts, man.
But I just want to throw that out there. I thought it was pretty cool, pretty interesting to see, some of these young kids.
Yeah, of course, and I'm sure for him, it's like, oh wow, Dwayne Wade, is talking about me. Like that's something I would have never thought of. So that's great for him. So then we're gonna move on to the Major League Baseball. They wrapped up. Yeah, the Los Angeles Dodgers win the World Series, and during this game, Justin Turner was taken out because he had tested positive for COVID. Obviously, we know what happens. The Dodgers go on to win even without him. But after the game, Justin Turner probably should have been somewhere quarantined. But no, he came out onto the field, celebrated with his buddies, and was not wearing a mask. And was sitting next to his coach, who had just had, I forgot what was it that I told you, it was, it might have been Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is something serious that if he gets COVID, he could possibly pass away. And the lovely commissioner of baseball, Manfred, came out and said that, no, Justin Turner's not going to get fined for this. What? How are you going to tell me you're not going to fine this man? How did you allow him, first off, in the field? I get they won, but you're still putting people's lives in danger. I would have been upset. I'm like, man, back up. I love you, but nah. Social distance.
You don't get mad because he knew he had the COVID already. After everybody knew that Justin Turner had COVID, it wasn't a surprise. He didn't want to, lose millions, having to postpone games, get everybody tested, do all those things. So it wasn't a surprise. A surprise that Manfred said no suspension, because you know what Justin Turner's going to say? Oh, but you knew, buddy. You're the one who let me play here. So it's just an all-around agreement by everybody. You don't suspend me. I'll stay quiet. Let me celebrate with my team. No big deal. Moving on to the next thing is it's also baseball. They're the same people who didn't suspend any Houston Astro player. Let them play the season like no big deal. So I'm not surprised what baseball does. Just They honestly don't really care about many things. Apparently, you can just cheat. Hey, no
Unless you're Pete Rose, then you do care.
unless it's Pete Rose, who was betting against himself. That's commendable. Should put him in the Hall of Fame just for that.
Yeah, 'cause, look at it. No one's gonna catch his all-time hit record. Like, and he did that while he was.
But more possible. What do you think will be easier to break? Pete Rose's hit record or Joe DiMaggio's hit streak?
I'm gonna say easier. They're both hard as shit.
Not easier. Which one would be not
More
easier
likely?
to do, but to break? Like, which one do you think is more possible, or which one do you think someone will accomplish first?
Probably the hit streak.
Yeah, you think that one would happen?
I think so. What is? I'll look it up. But I know hit streak wise, we had a couple guys get to like 30, no, or 40 something.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
record is 100.
No, it's not. It's 55.
It's 55.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Let me see.
let's check that.
I'm gonna look. I'm looking right now. Hit leaders. So I know obviously.
But the hits, the hitting amount of
I look at the
51. Kenny thinks it's 51.
51. That's the most. Mm-hmm. This is the worst.
Well, Melo's the worst at looking up these stats, but I still think Pete Rose getting all those hits is going to be tougher.
I think. Yeah, I'm saying. I think that was tougher.
Just Google Joe DiMaggio hit streak. I don't understand why this is so tough.
That wasn't what I was looking for.
That's not what we're talking about.
All right. It is a record of 56 consecutive games.
56.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's tough, dude. But
Sorry. So. Here
yeah,
we
I
go.
think it's just ridiculous that Justin Turner wasn't suspended or
So
just
like Pete Rose right now is number one with 4,256 hits. Number two is Ty Cobb with 4,189 hits. Like the nearest one after that was what, Jeter?
I think Ichiro. If you combine his hits from Japan and from this country, I believe he has
more than that.
something ridiculous. I don't know more, but I think he's up there with those guys. I believe.
Can you really count it though? Ichiro in just maybe you're right because like Ichiro just here has 3,089 hits, meaning he's what 12 less than 1,200 hits away. So I don't know how many he got in.
It's 4,367.
So he beats it. But you can't really count that. That's like a
No, I'm not saying to count it. I'm just saying it's just impressive. You know that. So we're just talking about hitting. And Japan's pretty competitive, but I agree. I'm not counting it. I'm just saying Ichiro. I think Ichiro probably would have beat it if he would have been here. Ichiro was that talented and that smart when it came to hitting baseballs.
You're right. He definitely was.
But sticking with the cheaters and liars and baseball.
So wait, I was gonna tell you the next closest for DiMaggio's was by Willie Keeler from the Baltimore Orioles, 45 games. So it's that he's
What
got
year was
close.
that?
Pete Rose had 44. Bill Dalen had 42. The next closest one that I know is Jimmy Rollins had 38 games. That's been the most recent one.
Well, thank you, Kenny, for 56. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody who's still tuning in. Sticking with cheaters, liars, and baseball, and I'm not even talking about steroids. We're talking about the Boston Red Sox and Alex Cora getting rehired. That is amazing. You think Alex Cora took the year off to like think of some new way to cheat? Or not, bad joke. Alex Cora, great coach. I think.
Great cheater, yes.
Nah, a good coach. That was a smart thing by the Red Sox. The Alex Cora, at the end of the day, he's a great coach, great baseball mind.
All these guys they must have been home watching Doug with their kids, banging on some trash cans, being like, "Oh, this is exactly how we're gonna cheat. We're gonna bang on some trash cans, and this is exactly how you're gonna know what call is coming."
The fact that you brought up Doug when they were, yeah, man, that's awesome. I was actually watching that show the other night, falling asleep to Doug. What was the band called? Beats.
The Beats, yep.
Man, that was so good. I forgot how the song went. But yeah, they're re-signing Alex Cora. Alex Cora was the previous coach of the Red Sox before this year, who got fired for being a part of the Houston Astros, but bringing it onto the Boston Red Sox.
Yep, the Red Sox also got.
Yes, they
their
also got
own
caught cheating, and no one got suspended. Just the coach out of all people. But apparently he was the one who maybe started it or brought it from the Houston Astros, and it was a pretty big deal. So to see him get rehired by the same team is kind of funny. I feel like baseball doesn't give an F about any of this. They're just like, sure, no problem. You served your 1-year suspension. And the Red Sox are like, yeah, he did. We're sending you back.
It's an abomination for baseball. Honestly, right now, Manfred is looking so bad. And I thought Bud Selig was bad. But, man, this man looks so much worse now because of what he's letting these teams and players get away with. That's worse. At least everyone was doing steroids back then. Now this is like, you're losing the integrity of the game. It's already hard enough to sit through some of these games for other people that are just casual fans. So for you to do this, it just makes the fans who are loyal be like, why am I going to watch this if it's already going to be, there's someone cheating. There's an advantage on the field that's not fair.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this. I think I asked you when Manfred was up there, do you think he's the most unpopular or the worst at his job? Out of all the coaches? Out of all the commissioners?
Roger Goodell makes it hard, but at least,
I don't think Roger Goodell's bad at his job, though.
Exactly. I'm saying Roger Goodell makes it hard because he's so disliked, but Manfred, I feel like, is just...
He's getting up. He's trying to get up there with the likes. He's trying to get up there with the likes.
At least he's trying to fix, his wrongs. Manfred's not trying to do that.
I feel Goodell is like Trump. And if you would have given Trump, I feel he would have, started off bad. Maybe the ending would have been good.
Hold on, let me do this.
Maybe the ending would have been good, but I don't know, dude. It's
I couldn't do it. There we go.
I guess it's unequivocal that Adam Silver is probably the best one. Or do we even know the name of the NHL commissioner?
Is he Biden then?
Who?
Adam Silver?
Nah. You'd have to talk about the same. It's the same sport. I think Adam Silver is probably the best one.
Gary Bettman is the NHL commissioner.
I'm pretty sure he's better than.
I mean, they're not in a lockout, and I feel like they're always in a lockout, like every 4 years. So they're doing good.
That's true. Adam Silver's probably the best one. Yeah, I think Manfred might be number 4, dude. I don't think he makes the right decisions. They still haven't even fixed the baseball problems as far as the time and taking long with the pitches or with the at-bats. They set up these dumb rules that don't really make sense to me. Probably next week, we should probably discuss ways to change baseball. I know we talked about it before. Maybe we bring up that topic again and see if we have any new changes or suggestions. I remember the other day I said we should maybe just give ties in baseball. After 10 innings, just give it a tie. But two last things before we have a couple more minutes left. Trevor Lawrence got COVID. We were talking about that day, and then that night he gets reported with COVID. But the team still won.
Barely.
But I said, we were at the gym working out, and they were getting stepped on by Boston College. Just stepped on. And usually these great teams like Clemson, their quarterback can go down, but the teams are so great that someone can just step right in, like in Ohio State. We've seen it in Alabama. We've seen it multiple times where the second string quarterback is just not just as good, but is good enough to just take that team far. And next thing you know, second half, Clemson just lays it down.
No, you're right, but I feel like they're going to have a tough task this weekend. They're facing Notre Dame, and Notre Dame are no slouches. And I think with Trevor Lawrence, they were going to blow past Notre Dame. But now with him, it's going to be tough to beat Notre Dame. But if they lose to Notre Dame, do you think they fall out of the top 10?
I think it depends by how much. That's what it means. Like, I know we had this discussion also at the gym.
But I feel like that was different because Boston College wasn't ranked. At least Notre Dame is ranked.
I think they would have seen that game that was without their quarterback. But still, that one I would have understood out of the top 10. I think you lose to this team, you might leave the top 10. But now you have this game won, that is showing because this is a man system. This is with a human brain. So I feel the voters are gonna go into it saying, okay, the young kid had a start. He came back to win the game. So now they're gonna be held to a higher standard against this team. But it's still a higher ranked team, so I don't think they should just get out of the top 10 just yet.
Okay, but maybe like 8 or 9. It's fine. So then the last thing we're going to talk about, we had a UFC special that you unfortunately can't see yet, but we're trying to figure that out. And Khabib went on, still undefeated, and then he retired. So this brought on the discussion of who is the all-time GOAT in UFC. And there's one man who came out and he was not happy that everyone was saying it was Khabib. And that is none other than John Bones Jones. What do you think about this? He said he's the GOAT. He said anyone who's thinking about Khabib, just go look at the records. And I think he said 19-4, something like that, or championship title, something like that. Or defenses. What do you think? Do you think Khabib is the GOAT? Do you think Jones is the GOAT? Do you think someone else is the GOAT? Butterbean?
Well, the first thing I think is John Bones Jones, man. Stop talking. Why are you being like KD? Why are you tweeting about this? Put the Twitter fingers down. Why are you all upset? Just let people look. Look, these are all the Khabib stands who are living in the moment, who are just spewing all of this. John, listen, homie, bro, me and you, we both got the tats right here, right there, boom. You're the GOAT. He dominated his starts. He's like a 15, he's played in 15 title contention shots, something like that, something crazy. Khabib's have only done 4. And this is no disrespect to Khabib because his performances have been masterful. I don't think he's even been cut in the ring yet. I don't even think he's been taken down.
He's only lost 2 rounds in his entire UFC career.
Masterful performances. But that probably goes down to the LeBron James, Michael Jordan comparison, where you can easily say that LeBron James is a better basketball athlete player type of thing. And Michael Jordan is, of course, the overall with the stats, with everything, and just brings it. I think this could be a good comparison like that because LeBron is a genius IQ with the game, physically, amazing. And Khabib is just that. Khabib is always prepared with his body, with his mind, and gives it his all. And he's so tactical, and it's special watching him play, watching him perform a fight. The last fight, the way he won, he did it in a way where he didn't want to embarrass Gagey in front of his mom. So the submission move he did wasn't even the best move he could have done. He did it in a nice way. Like this man he's an amazing athlete. But stop being stands in the moment. Go look at Jones. Go look at his fights. He's won some fights without even being prepared, where he didn't even train. And don't give me no nonsense about his drug use or being caught with PEDs. These are just, at the end of the day, Jones is the GOAT. Just like Barry Bonds is the GOAT of baseball.
Okay, I was with you up until you just said that final thing. Please don't ever say that again. Barry Bonds is never...
That's going to be, we should debate that next week because that's not talked about who's the GOAT of baseball. Nobody really talks about that because everybody's so sensitive with we're going to put that on the list. I'm going to put, next week, we're going to debate GOAT of baseball.
I'm just going to say one thing. So then, we'll debate that. So then, I'm sorry, Khabib, like I said, 2 rounds is all he's ever been knocked down. And that is impressive. That means every fight you've been in has been dominant. What I want to point out here is no one's talking about GSP. That's because he ain't that good. Anyway, I'm going to go back. Sorry, I just had to throw my little GSP, jab in there. I'm just going to share one photo. And this photo is going to tell you why this man is the GOAT.
Are you going to show a picture of me?
No, I was going to show a picture of me as a child, but it's this.
What is...
That is John Jones. One of his fights basically popped his toe out, was bleeding and didn't even feel it. He went on to win this fight. That is how impressive.
Well, you know,
badass
you can break a people break their toes all the time. You don't even feel it. But that's definitely gruesome. Yeah. That's a different level.
And during an MMA fight, come on. People were saying, "Oh, Khabib broke his little pinky toe, and he fought the fight." Nah, let me see him do this in the middle of a fight, and then see what happens.
People forget, man. That's what I'm saying. People are standing to the moment. People forget. So we can agree that Jones is the GOAT of UFC. If you watch some of his previous fights, and he's still 32, something like that. He still has.
Yeah, and I mean, I think his whole thing is all about the money, where he doesn't feel like they're getting paid enough, and a lot of people feel the same way. A lot of fighters. So I understand why he's not fighting right now, but he's kind of wasting a good, his prime, because he's a beast.
Well, with that being said, that's a perfect way to end the fourth quarter. We're moving on to OT. You're not going to say it?
There's never much love when we get to OT.
OT. And we're done with sports talk. And today's a very special OT. We just gave you guys a special OT last week. This week we have another special OT. And it's for a very special person in everybody's hearts who unfortunately passed away recently. And that's Sean Connery. The late great Sean Connery. So amazing actor.
R.I.P. Sean.
Amazing actor. So many roles that we loved. I think one of my favorite roles was him as Indy's dad, which is, I know, is a small role, but it was such a dope watching that movie over and over again and seeing their chemistry with Harrison Ford. I thought that was awesome.
It was. A lot of people don't talk about it, but that's definitely like an iconic role of his that it should be talked about.
But for this special OT, we are gonna talk about his. We're going to
talk about his voice. How we want to imitate him?
I mean, I think he's out there with Morgan Freeman with the voices. I don't know why people weren't using Sean Connery for a lot of these things, but we are gonna do a bracket and come up with who is the best James Bond of all time. Who is the best James Bond of all time? I've been studying, I've been working, I've been taking notes on this. This is a very special one for me.
I'm going to go back to Kenny. We missed this. He said Khabib wrestled Bear. So did Bret Hart, and he's not the best. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear none of this bear talk.
All right, so here we go. Who's the greatest Sean Connery?
Sean Connery.
The greatest Sean Connery of all time happens to be Sean Connery. That was an easy one. All right, who is the greatest James Bond of all time?
So I say name them off first before.
That's what I was going to do.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to name them all first. So, we have Pierce Brosnan, who is one of the most popular ones, who was in GoldenEye. We all loved him. And,
the GOAT.
Roger Moore. He was in a lot of them. Just like Sean Connery. They were both in a lot of 007s. We have Daniel Craig, who is the latest one. Everybody knows Daniel Craig. He's been He hasn't been in a lot of them, like the rest. Well, he's been in quite a few, but he's been the longest running one.
That's because of how long they've taken to make the movies.
Yes. Yeah. Then we have Timothy Dalton, not a very popular known one, but he actually has a lot of fans. We have George Lazenby. Hope I'm saying that right. He was in one when Sean Connery took a break. He was in one of them. David Nevin and Barry Nelson. Barry Nelson wasn't in any movie, and you're never going to hear about him. But Barry Nelson was actually in a Casino Royale version that was part of like a TV show once, and that was the first James Bond interpretation in TV at that time. It wasn't made by the creators or anyone. It was kind of like done without them. So that's why it's not really considered a movie, but for purposes of needing a number 8 for our bracket, and the fact that he is an OG and he was James Bond, we're gonna put him in there. Put some respect on Barry Nelson's name in these lists, people, because 4 quarters puts respect on people's name, and Barry Nelson is in the bracket.
He is James Bond.
So do you have a favorite from this list before we move on? Do you have a favorite one that you're rooting for? or no spoilers right now in this bracket that we're doing?
I don't want to give any spoilers because I need my argument to be precise.
I got you. Okay, I see you. All right. So, do you want me to give the rankings yet, or what?
No, just go up. We'll do 1, 8 like that, and then what is it?
Oh, you want me to just go?
Go, and then people will be like, oh, so number 1, you say number 1 is so and so, number 8 is this.
All right. So to start off, our number 1 seed. All right. So people know the way we rank them. Me and Mello, we took some time to do this. You guys wanted to make a show. We rated all their movies. We saw how they were rated. We saw how we put into thought how many times they appeared in the series. We put into thought how much the people enjoyed the movies, and we put into thought how well they played the actual character of James Bond. You know, because the movie was good, did that make him a good James Bond? So, all right, for the first round right here, the first round of matchups, we have number 1 ranked Sean Connery. He got number 1 versus number 8 ranked Barry Nelson. Now we can still put respect on Barry Nelson's name. He made it when he's never on anybody's list.
So what's going to be the tiebreaker here if we don't agree? Are we flipping a coin here? Some change?
I think we have to flip a coin.
You got a coin to flip? This is the 4 quarters show.
I'm going to find one.
So I'll start off. So obviously Sean Connery's been in like 7 James Bond movies. He was the first one. He can say he started off this franchise. Or did he? Because Barry Nelson, like my partner alluded to, said it himself. This was first all began with Casino Royale. I think it was 57, something like that. And Barry Nelson was the original James Bond before Sean Connery. So I feel like he should get this over. It should be an upset. But I have to go with James Bond and the fedora. I gotta go with Sean Connery, man. We're doing this because of him. He can't be eliminated in the first round. I don't care what you say. He was still great. He had so many iconic moments that you just think about, and Goldfinger is right now ranked the greatest James Bond movie of all time, and who was starring in it? Sean Connery. So,
listen, Mello, I can't disagree with you, buddy. But just so people know, like I said, Barry Nelson's James Bond was not a movie. It was part of a climax series at the time. Loosely based on the novel, changed the ending. People weren't too happy about that. And Casino Royale has... Oh, wait, I'm getting something. Give me a second. This is... hold on. Yes, we have a tiebreaker. We have a tiebreaker. So, do you have his email there, or do you want to resend it to the... Yes.
I of course do.
All right. So, he'll be back on. Sean Connery starred in 7 James Bond movies. Took a break and then got on another one. But this is going to be an easy round. It's definitely going to go to Sean Connery. Definitely Barry Nelson's portrayal of James Bond was a little different. It wasn't as sexy or as fun as the other ones, but it was a good interpretation, and he did his best. But Sean Connery definitely on this round, he's going to move on.
All right, so Sean Connery moves on to round number 2. And the email is sent, my friend. All right, so round 3. We're not going 2-7 now, right? Now it goes...
No. Now we're going 5 and 6. I got it. I know what I'm doing.
All right, just making sure.
Melo likes to think this is my first rodeo. All right. So, for 5 and 6. For the 5th ranked on our list is Timothy... or how we call him here, Timothy T. Dalton versus number 4 ranked Pierce Brosnan.
God, what a travesty.
That's right, everyone. He is ranked 4th.
This is a travesty of rankings.
But
T. Dahl and Pierce Brosnan should be
Before you continue, Mello, I am gonna say Pierce Brosnan starred in four movies, also in 2 video games, maybe even more. But he starred in a couple video games, so he's well known for that. He was pretty popular at that time. You know, Pierce. A lot of people know him. He had the suave accent, the voice, the look, tall. You can say action star too. He was a pretty good action star in his action sequences. I think where his downfall were the movies. I think the movies kind of sometimes let him down because they just actually one of them was great. The best one, the most popular one was GoldenEye. GoldenEye, 1995 was definitely his best movie in the series. It's the one that started it all. And then from there, it kind of went downhill after Tomorrow Never Dies. And then The World Is Not Enough. And then after Die Another Day, it was pretty much Die Another Movie because at that point, they just got rid of him.
They didn't get rid of him. They didn't do. What was the next James Bond after that? It was a while.
It was Daniel Craig after him.
Yeah, but it took a while before they had
I know, but you know, it was kind of like he wanted to come back, but they kind of got rid of him.
They didn't get rid of him.
But GoldenEye.
If Roger Moore was able to make like 18 movies,
GoldenEye was epic. You know, fans loved it, very popular. But moving on to Timothy Dalton. He only got 2 movies, but those 2 movies were fantastic. They were actually well received, pretty, you know, average movies, but they weren't bad. There were some 007 movies that were awful, and T-Doll did a good job. He took over the role in the late 80s after Roger Moore, and he did a pretty good job. You know, the movies, maybe he wasn't as charismatic as Roger Moore.
It was a little bit more of a serious role.
But still, he's one of those. He has a little cult following, a good way to put it.
Absolutely right. So I'm gonna let you start this one off.
All right. So this is the one. This is a tough one for me, right? It's not a tough one. It's gonna go to Pierce. I'm gonna give it to my boy. I loved watching him. He's the one I grew up with. He's the one I played GoldenEye with. He's the one that I had to go like this and then shoot Odd Job with. And in my opinion, he has the best sequence where you see the scope, and then he just comes and bah, way better than the one Sean Connery did for the last 3 movies. So if you guys don't know, in the beginning sequence in some GoldenEye movies or commercials, they'll come in and you see the scope, and then you see GoldenEye just kind of turn and shoot, and then it turns red or whatever color they want to pick. But yeah, I picked Pierce. What do you pick?
So there's a movie I really like, and it's called I Love You Man. And in I Love You Man, they reference T-Doll. And in one of those, so one of the James Bond movies from Timothy Dalton was called License to Kill.
Yes.
So in it, these guys are best friends, and he gets him. He's a real estate agent, so he gets him his own billboard. And in one of those, he just tells him, "Hey man, can you just pose like T-Doll?" And so he gets that picture, and he puts it on a billboard, him dressed like in a tuxedo, and it says "License to Sell," and that to me is hilarious. So T-Doll, I love you. Like you said, he's got a cult following.
He does.
But I gotta go with my boy Pierce Brosnan.
Oh wow!
Oh man, I can't believe you just said, "Oh, Die Another Day, Die Another Movie." That movie was great. Halle Berry was great. They were in Iceland. You had all the ice going on. He wasn't just skiing; he was sliding his car on the thin ice. It was amazing. And he stayed in that hotel that was completely made of ice. It was amazing. It made me want to go there.
Well, since T-Dog's no longer going to be in the list, might as well tell you guys his movies. He was in The Living Daylights. The Living Daylights, that one came out in 1987. And also License to Kill has Mellow reference. That one was in 1989, the year I was born. So, you know, that was a good one. The Living Daylights got a 73% by the critics. And License to Kill got a 70. No, The Living Daylights got a 73. License to Kill got a 78.
If I'm not wrong, they were both ranked top 10, right? They were in the top 10?
Yes, the movies were ranked. I don't know if they were all top 10. I'm not sure if they were both top 10. I think it was.
I'll check it out quickly.
Yeah. While he checks that out, Timothy Dalton, the movies were well received for it being back to back movies. Just a new James Bond. People did like them. He did a pretty good job of it. So to only get two movies, was a surprise. But Timothy T Dog didn't make the cut. I thought you were definitely gonna go with him. I know you like going for the underdog. So that means right now on the list, we've already lost.
The Living Daylights was ranked 12th, and License to Kill was ranked 10th.
There you go. So he has 2 movies in the top 15, which is pretty impressive out of 26 movies.
And he only did 2.
So that means Barry Nelson and Timothy Dalton are out of the list. Barry Nelson, once again, remember, he didn't make a movie. He was just in the Casino Royale type of thing. And Timothy Dalton gone. So, for our 3rd and 4th ranked James Bond characters, we have the...
Oh, what do we have?
Sorry, I wrote that wrong, that's why.
Pierce Brosnan. Thank you, Gabby.
It's for our 3rd and 6th. I don't know why I said 3 and 4. No wonder I confused myself.
Put some respect on Pierce Brosnan's
Oh,
name.
I see why I did that. Sorry. Pierce was ranked 4.
And this is coming from the guy who said, "This isn't my first rodeo."
Yeah, I know. Pierce was ranked 4th. I totally messed that up. It's okay.
Was he not supposed to go up against Tito?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
The next one is Roger Moore, number 3, versus George Lansby.
All right, so Lansby had 1 movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that movie, I'm going to say it, everyone here, it was ranked number 6. Nope, 6? Number 7, greatest James Bond film of all time. But he only had 1. And then we have Roger Moore, who did about 37 James Bond movies. We just haven't seen them all. And I guess I'll kick this one off. I unfortunately cannot go as much as, I'm looking at the rankings, looking at the movie quality. I want to go against Roger Moore so bad, but I can't. I can't. He made so many James Bond movies. And not only that, but he had some, from we were watching like some of the trailers just to get refreshed on it. And he had some bad Bond girls in these movies. As cheesy as he was as a James Bond, he was definitely pulling. So I gotta go Roger Moore.
You going for who?
Roger Moore.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Before you picked Roger Moore, I was going to just give a quick couple facts here. George Lansby was in only 1 James Bond movie, and that was on Her Majesty's Secret Service. That was in 1969, and the critics gave it an 81%. It was actually well received. It was his only one, and a lot of the fans thought he didn't fit the James Bond persona. A lot of them said he was kind of stuck up, was kind of stiff. But the creative director and the producer said that he did a good job, and if he would have remained in the role, because he had left the role before the movie even got dropped. He actually just left. He quit. That he would have been one of the best of all time, and he would have continued being in the movies. But that movie was actually well received, and it wasn't a bad James Bond movie by any sense of the word. Roger Moore was in 7 James Bond movies. A View to Kill, The Man with the Golden Gun, Octopussy, Moonraker, where they take it to space, The Spy Who Loved Me.
I just want to interrupt you. In that Moonraker movie, it was your favorite Bond girl there, Dr. Holly Goodhead.
Dr. Holly Goodhead. That's the one that we were watching it that I said that's my favorite one. Holly Goodhead. Later we should give a list of all these names. For Your Eyes Only in 1981, and then Live and Let Die in 1973. Yeah, I can't pick George Lansby. A lot of people would be really upset about this, but that's not why I'm picking Roger Moore. It's just because he deserves to make it to the next round. He has 7. Sean Connery is also the one with 7. They're both, the ones that people compare in the past, who's the best one back then. So Roger Moore moves on to the next round. So I'm going to write that down. That's Roger Moore, our 3rd ranked. Last but not least, that leaves 2 other Bonds. We have the second. Well, let me start off with the 7th. The 7th ranked Bond is David Niven, and the second one is Daniel Craig. Don't do anything crazy this round, Mello. Should I start or you?
You can start.
Okay, this round.
While you're doing that, I'll do my best impression of Daniel Craig right now.
Okay, David Niven is kind of like Barry Nelson in the fact that they both did a version of Casino Royale, except this one was in 1963 by David Niven. It was not received very well. It got a rating of 25% by Rotten Tomatoes. Fans also did not like it. It was kind of more of a funny take on James Bond, and it also gave you a retired, older James Bond. David did play a good older James Bond. He wasn't bad at being James Bond. The movie just was kind of, for lack of a better way to say it, Austin Powers type of movie where it was kind of like a joke. And then we move on to Daniel Craig, who's our 2nd ranked, which apparently he doesn't like. He has one of the most successful Bond movies in Skyfall and Casino Royale. 2 major box office hits, extremely popular. The last 2 weren't the best, but still in James Bond is pretty popular. So that's why he comes in at number 2, because he did come up. He has 2 of the best James Bond movies. The negative for me about Daniel Craig is that exact reason. He's not suave. He doesn't have that banter. When he talks to the women, it's just not. It doesn't seem he knows how to really handle those acting situations. But he is an action star. He does that part amazing. And the serious scenes, he's a phenomenal actor. I'm gonna go with Daniel Craig on this one.
Daniel Craig is not an action star. Get that out of here. God, I think I did a better impression of Daniel Craig than Daniel Craig does of himself just now, just sitting there, just no emotion, just not doing anything. God is awful. He is just god awful. I want to vote for David Niven just because that movie. I feel like after seeing that, it looked like he inspired Austin Powers, and we should put Austin Powers on this list.
You know what? If we hadn't found Barry Nelson, we may have put Austin Powers in there.
Thank you, Gabby. Daniel Craig is trash. Oh my God, I'm so happy I found someone that agrees with me. And the only reason I cannot go with him, at least in this round, is because the other man only made 1 James Bond movie, and this guy. I'll go into the next round why I dislike Daniel Craig so much more. Just even based on just watching the movies, but there's something else with it. Let Daniel Craig advance. Let the man have his day.
Daniel Craig advances to the next round. Wow, Melo's not happy about that. All right, so first round eliminations were
Timothy Dalton should have gone up against Daniel Craig.
Our 5th overall. Barry Nelson, our 8th overall, got kicked to the curb. George Lansby got kicked to the curb, and David Niven. So looks like there were no Cinderella stories on this one. The top 4 make it to the next round. So continuing the bracket is going to be the 2nd and 3rd. So the 2nd is Daniel Craig, and the 3rd is Roger Moore. So it's quick, boom.
This is such a travesty that T-Doll got eliminated in the first round.
So
but somehow these 2 trash guys
do you want to continue?
made it to the second round.
Do you want to continue, or do you want? You can go first.
So yeah, I'll go on why I think Daniel Craig is not good.
Go on your Daniel Craig rant.
Yes, I'm sorry. The man goes, this is going to be my last James Bond. Okay, great. Let's move on. Let's get, Henry Cavill here. Let's get Idris Elba here to be new James Bond. Bring someone fresh into the role. What does he do after he says he's not going to do it anymore? Oh, no, wait. I want to do one more now. I was so tired of seeing this man be James Bond. Like, he is not good. he is so dull to watch. He's not suave. He's none of this. Like he wasn't the James Bond. I grew up watching. He wasn't Pierce Brosnan. He wasn't Sean Connery. He's not T-Dog. Like I'm sorry, he tried to be T-Dog and he failed. That's why I think the travesty the T-Dog got eliminated in that first round. So my vote by default is gonna go to Roger Moore.
Wow. Okay, so Roger Moore, like I said, 7 of the top movies. Roger Moore's best movie, you could say, is The Spy Who Loved Me, with an 80%.
I thought it was an Austin Powers movie.
That's the Spy. 80%. 80% critic rating with a 76% fan rating. I did something else. I put together all the overalls. If you put all the movies together, Roger Moore has 57% critic rating if you put his movies together, and a 56% by the fans if you put all the movies together. Daniel Craig has a 79% by the critics and a 74% by the fans. Daniel Craig has the highest percentage by fans when it comes to the movies, so that's high, and he has a top 3 movie. So I have to. I let you go. All I'm gonna say is he might not have played the best James Bond, but his movies were successful. And Roger Moore's movies were kind of goofy. He did have better ladies. Hey, my point. Hey, Roger Moore. But do we have our tiebreaker on standby?
We do.
We had to. This is the moment. I am gonna pick Daniel Craig for this very moment. As I think his dad loves Roger Moore. I might even want him to call his dad. I don't know, but I know his dad loves James Bond. But I hope he's ready for this one.
All right. Well, for anyone who tuned in to our, Gabby saying he got lucky with a good screenwriter. Absolutely right. And this last movie, Christoph Waltz was the best part of the whole entire movie. It wasn't him. But with that said, if you guys watched our Halloween bracket special, if you haven't, stop right now, go watch it, and then come back. We had a tiebreaker that day, and he's back. And it's none other than the fan favorite, Kenny.
Yeah, look at that outfit. How's it going, Kenny?
What's good? I'm just watching this game. Shout out to my Canes. We're down 21-24. Kings playing like the GOAT right now. Our defense is playing lousy, but
he's still looking he's still looking good for that Heisman.
Dude, he's the best quarterback I've seen in 20 years.
All right.
Well, if you just watch games, that's not saying a lot.
That's what I'm saying in history.
Who's the best James Bond you've seen right now? Is it Daniel Craig or Roger Moore?
Melo, I'm not letting you do this, bro. Sorry. I'm not letting you do this. I'm not letting you do this. Daniel Craig is advancing.
Oh, that was quick. Is there a reason why, or you just?
I'll get into it later.
All right.
Daniel Craig is.
Do you know who your dad loves, by any chance?
I do, and I'll probably get into that later. But I know he's a big Daniel Craig fan, and my boy's 64. He's seen a lot of James Bonds, and he likes Daniel Craig.
All right.
Daniel Craig is God. Oh,
all right, so that's
Timothy Dalton should have taken him out in the first round. I can't believe I let you make this bracket align.
I showed it to you beforehand. You greenlit it, so
I trusted you.
All right, so Roger Moore, very popular Bond. Like I said, he made 7 movies, very popular, but also it's kind of disliked by a lot of people. He's not also that popular of a Bond, but he's out in this list, and Daniel Craig on to the next round. Thank you so much, Kenny. We'll see you soon. We'll probably bring Kenny for the final because this next one, I don't know. I'm not sure who you're gonna pick on this one, but we have Sean Connery, our number 1 ranked, versus Pierce Brosnan. 2 heavy hitters. Pierce, let's go. Pierce has 4 movies. Sean has 7 movies. Mr. Connery, I should say, Sir Connery, has 7 movies. I think for this round, for me, it's only the heart I have for Pierce Brosnan. Other than that, I can't give it to him. Those 4 movies, I enjoyed them. They were fun. But watching the OG Sean Connery, watching him action star, flirt, banter with the women. He had it. He was smooth, sexy. He had a license to kill.
So you're going Sean Connery.
I'm going Sean Connery.
So this is exactly what I'm saying about you making this bracket being a travesty. This should have been the finals right here. It should have been the finals, not the second round. We're not trying to eliminate two heavyweights
This
in the
is
second round.
Warriors versus Rockets.
Pierce Brosnan should have gone up against Daniel Craig, and Daniel Craig would have been at home asleep like he is all the other times he's on a movie set.
Well, you know what? Sometimes teams like the Clippers who should make it, they get eliminated. So
Pierce Brosnan,
yeah, that's true. They are equally badass. I'll give Gabby that one. They're equally badass.
they are. Absolutely. That's why I'm saying these are two heavy hitters. They should have been in the finals, not in the semifinals. So, with that said, Sean Connery's iconic. Pierce Brosnan is iconic. But my vote, I'm going to give it to the man who, when he looks through that little scope, guess what? He's not wearing a fedora, and he's not doing this with his arm out to balance himself out. I got to give it to my boy Pierce. I grew up watching Pierce. For anyone out there who had a Nintendo 64, you all know what was the greatest game to play on that. Yeah, you had Mario. Yeah, you had No Mercy. But no, it was GoldenEye. By far one of the greatest shooting games of all time. All time. Give it graphics, whatever you want. All time, that is a great video game. Pierce Brosnan, you're not putting enough respect on the man's movies. They not only were they great movies, he was great in them. He was what you wanted. He was a badass James Bond. He was suave, witty and sarcastic with you. He fit the role beautifully. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with. I've seen more Pierce Brosnan James Bonds than I have Sean Connery. I know R.I.P. Sean, but my vote, I have to give it to Pierce. And I already know the way this is going because our tiebreaker down there is like shaking his head. And,
let me see him. Bring him out.
Throwing a fit back there. I saw him pull out some of his hair. Before you pick, I just want a reason as to why you're not going to pick Pierce Brosnan.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen his movies.
You're missing out, man. You're missing out on Halle Berry.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen his movies, but I have seen Sean Connery movies, and Sean Connery is a legend. And bro, the fact that this list is inspired by him, and he's not even gonna make it to the finals.
Oh man, he has a point.
No.
It's because of the way your uncle over here decided to do his bracket and completely, just let's eliminate
A lot of
good ones in the
thought
first
went
round.
into this bracket, Mello.
It doesn't look like
I took notes, bro. I took notes for this bracket.
if we have people in the chat saying that one of the finalists is trash,
There's
no reason
Hey,
that
that's
he should
gonna
be in there.
That's gonna be our next merch shirt. I took notes, bro. All right,
Sean
thank
Connery,
you, Kenny.
Sean Connery's a legend, man.
Sean Connery on to the next round. So, for our championship round, we have the late great Sir Sean Connery and Daniel Craig.
Are we really doing this?
Sean Connery had 4 or 5 movies in the top 15. I think 3 movies in the top 5.
I'll tell you right now.
He has 2 movies ranked 95%. Dr. No and From Russia with Love. And then he has Goldfinger with a 99% rating. He has Thunderball with an 86% rating. He has You Only Live Twice with a 73% rating. And he had one bad one, Diamonds Are Forever, with a 64% rating. I'm sorry. He had one atrocious one. Never Say Never Again. But that was in 1983 when it's not really considered a James Bond movie because it wasn't made by the creators. He kind of came back after retirement. Kind of looked like an old Bond. Maybe one of the movies that'll bring him down. But other than that, all the rest of them are classics. Now, Daniel Craig has 4 movies, 4 quality movies, with Skyfall at 92%, Casino Royale at 95%, Quantum of Solace at 65%, and Spectre at 63%. Well, Quantum of Solace has 65%, I should say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You falling asleep about these stats?
I'm falling asleep at Daniel Craig talk.
All right. Bring Kenny, 'cause I just want to hear his thoughts. Because we already know who the winner's going to be on this one, since you hate Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Kenny, who would you pick? Go ahead. I want you to defend Daniel Craig.
I picked Sean Connery. I picked Sean Connery. I think Sean Connery's the GOAT. I did grow up with Daniel Craig, and the way I look at it with Daniel Craig and Sean Connery is like Christian Bale versus Michael Keaton. I think they add like a different spice to it. I think Daniel Craig's more of like a darker Bond. Are you guys good? You guys hearing me?
Yeah, we'll listen to you.
I think Daniel Craig's more of like a darker Bond, a darker tone. I think Sean Connery, especially in different times, different eras, Sean Connery's more of like an upbeat. He's way more charming than Daniel Craig is.
Yeah, he's not boring, is what exactly what you're trying to say.
He's way more charming.
He's way more charming. I think Daniel Craig is just like. I think what Daniel Craig's character is, he's more of a
Snooze fest.
No, I think it's just like I'm an assassin to kill. I'm meant to be an agent and I'm going to kill people, and I fucking smoke my cigs, I drink my alcohol, and I'm getting my job done.
That wasn't him in Casino Royale when he was falling in love with that girl and got all depressed.
You know what they did? It's 007 started getting directed by Christopher Nolan. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of vibe. Not that Christopher Nolan directed the movies, but I feel they took 007 to that kind of vibe instead of it being like, well, Sean Connery. Sean Connery showed everyone what 007 is, and then everybody tried to match that type of swag. You know, the being an action star, being able to have that witty banter and talk to women. And yeah, it's written on paper, but he showed actors how, look, this is how you do it for it to look real.
So what happened to Daniel Craig?
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have that. So when he tries to do it on screen, I feel he sees himself as, no, I gotta maintain the serious, because if I get too flirty, it might not look authentic. I don't know. This is my opinion. I have no idea. But for sure, when it comes to talking to women, he's like me in high school, just lost dog. We don't know what to do.
I think he's just a serious dude, and he doesn't really care about that shit in the movies. He just cares about being a badass and getting the job done. It's like, I am an assassin. I am an agent. I'm gonna get the job done.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I mean, I'd pick Sean Connery in a flash. I mean, I was shocked when I saw From Russia with Love, and I understood what my dad has been telling me, because my dad's a big James Bond fan. So I've been hearing about this for years, and he's actually a big Daniel Craig fan. And to me, like, that's a pretty big deal. If the guy who was born in '56 is telling me that Daniel Craig is one of the better Bonds that he's seen,
well, I just think your dad's happy because Daniel Craig looks like him. He's the first to be, you know, not as tall as the rest of them, blonde hair.
So what do you think is the best James Bond movie then?
I like Goldfinger. Goldfinger's dope.
That's the best one of all time.
Goldfinger is dope, and like I've been hearing the scene for a while. My dad's been telling me it way before I even saw the scene, and I finally saw it. It's got the, like, James Bond is tied to the table to Sean Connery, and there's a laser going to his nuts.
Yeah.
And like James Bond's like, you expect me to talk? And Goldfinger's like, nah, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Oh, that's such a great line. So with that, I'm pretty sure we're in agreement here. So I'm gonna go and let one of our commenters, our viewers, announce who the winner of the greatest James Bond of all time is on the Four Quarter Show. And that's someone who's been commenting and obviously knows that Daniel Craig should not have been in the final two, and that is Gabby Reyes saying Sean Connery.
Oh, the late great Sean Connery.
Yes.
He's happy in heaven right now, smiling.
Definitely is. With all his Bond girls.
I will say he has the worst. Kenny, honestly, so he has two very, you know, when James Bond, the scope comes up and then Bonds come and he shoots the gun. Okay, Sean Connery has one where he has this fedora hat, and then
Jasmine chiming in as well.
And then for some reason, instead of just being like standing up and shooting the gun, he gets like on one half knee, and then he does like a spirit finger, and then he does this.
All while wearing a fedora.
Hold on.
And then the first one he does for the first movies, it's just him jumping into it. So that one looked fine. But this one with like the balance thing, we were watching and we're like, Why? Why did he change it at the last
think-
couple movies?
I think it's him just trying to add something new. I mean, he's doing the thing for a while, and just trying to spice it up.
And we were trying to spot the fedora too. I was like, yo, I want to see him wear this damn fedora that he continues to wear in these openings. And we finally caught him. I forgot what movie it was. He was on the boat, and he was wearing a hat.
No, I think I really do enjoy the Sean Connery movies because he is funny, he's witty. I mean, and he's kind of just like your average dude too. He's not doing anything crazy. And the charm. I mean, the charm is what it is. The dude's a smooth fucking dude.
Yeah,
he is smooth as hell.
Everything, his voice. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Look, you're looking for a photo because I found one.
You found one?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna share it with everyone out there, so you can see the. I don't know what this man was doing, but here it is. Is that too small? But you see him, just open-handed with the fedora, pointing the gun. It's like, why?
Let me see. Oh, that's not even. It's just. Ken, you know what it is? That picture doesn't do it justice. It's the way that he just walks, and then you don't see it coming, but he just gets on like he drops low, and the hand comes out. That's what it is. It's like the hand comes out, and I go, "What are you doing, dude?" Oh man,
Maybe he's like someone's trying to shoot him and he's dodging it. And
I forgot why I said what I said about the reason that he does that, but oh man, but the reason was because he's like, well, if I bend down, that means the power of the gun is gonna bring me that, so I gotta make sure I take my hand down.
That's what it was. We're like, someone told him, hey man, no, you got it for the recoil. You gotta bend your hand out for balance. Oh,
they were trying their best, man. For those movies being in the 60s, they're damn entertaining.
Absolutely. But he brought up a good
Oh, there it is. Yep,
I'm
definitely gonna give it to you. I'm gonna put it here. Well, I'm not gonna give it to you.
Give it to me, baby.
All right, let me share the screen really quick.
How are you gonna? You can share it on your thing, no?
Yes, we've done this so many times. I know. Are we podcast partners, bro? Is this your first rodeo with me? All right, you ready? I'm gonna play this. All right,
Here it is.
Oh, I don't know why that makes me laugh every time, dude. Every time it just gets me. My man's on half a knee and then put this spirit finger out.
I don't know. But something Kenny did bring up that we got to do eventually for one show is this Batman talk.
That's exactly what he did. He gave me the jazz hands.
Comparing Christian Bale to Michael Keaton. Come on, man.
Whoa, how do you feel about this?
I'll just say really quick. Michael Keaton's the best Batman of all time.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say this real quick. Next, we might have another OT special, and it is where we're gonna start doing Batman. Oh, we talking Batman?
That's gonna be fun with Val Kilmer and George Clooney and shit.
Hey, the Bat Nipples. Bat Nipples. Bat Nipples is making it to the finals.
Listen, this
isn't happening again.
Listen, I do notes, bro. Once I get my notes, I'll do the rank. I'm in charge of the ranking system. Okay, I did a good job on this one. I love the new Batman.
I do think Robert Pattinson is gonna be legit, man. I mean, he's
We'll
gonna take Christian Bale
about
for his
that.
money.
He gets. What did he say?
He's gonna give him a run for his money.
Daniel, who's gonna give who a run for his money?
Robert Pattinson is gonna give Christian Bale a run for his money.
Robert Pattinson is gonna do it. Do you know who I am?
Listen,
Do you know who I'm talking to? This isn't Mello anymore. This is David. I want to talk like this for the rest of the show.
Daniel Craig deserved to be there. Okay, my ranking system works.
Daniel Craig did not deserve to be
He deserves
final two.
As far as Batman, Robert Pattinson gets a bad rap because of Twilight. But if you watch any of his other movies, he actually does a phenomenal job.
No, you're right. I was
Now-
Remember Me?
May Robert Pattinson be the Daniel Craig of Batman? Maybe. But Daniel Craig's a great 007. But so what they wanted was a more, not only edgier Batman, but a more detective vibe, newer Batman. And I feel Robert Pattinson, if you ask me what actor will fill that vibe, they picked the right guy.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely shocked by the cast. And then I saw the trailer and I was pleasantly surprised. I mean,
I watched the
really,
trailer.
I
and
really
I know
did
I
enjoy the
saw it
trailer.
the first time and it wasn't bad. I just got to see it again. It depends
I
on what
still
Batman we get. Depends
still
what Batman they're trying to portray.
Big Ben's still the best Batman. Don't at me.
Okay, and with that, we're gonna end the 4 quarter show because everyone's just spewing nonsense here about how great Daniel Craig is, how Ben Affleck is the best Batman.
He was an amazing older Batman. Is
I don't know about that one.
He's got the role in the And that's how you end the show, guys.
That's exactly how you end the show with that comment. But I want to thank you, Kenny, for coming on and being our tiebreaker again.
Thank you, Kenny. Always appreciate you. Love you. I'll see you soon.
Sure.
I'm gonna be at Pensacola, Florida, in a couple weeks with my best friend right there. Mello, you're not. My 2 best friends are right here, but I'm gonna be with that best friend.
Damn, no invite.
You want to go? Well, Kenny, you want him to go?
You can go. You
Oh,
can
look,
go.
it's Kenny. Hey, Kenny wants you to go. I'll give you the flight info.
Say
It's a party. Macho can come. CK can come. We can have a party.
All right, so for everybody tuning in, today was National Nacho. What was it?
National Nachos Day.
Yes. So
Not
if you want
regular nacho. Nachos.
Nachos.
nachos,
Yeah, not one single
so
nacho.
if you want the recipe for our
Quattro
nachos with cheese recipe, I added the with cheese. Our Quattro nacho recipe. It's gonna be on our Instagram account where we show you the whole recipe, some pictures that we took,
and
healthy.
Twitter as well.
Yes, and Twitter. Add us. And yeah,
If you don't know, at the bottom, if you're watching us, at the bottom is our Instagram and Twitter. It's at the number 4 quarter show. We actually changed it. And if not, if you're listening to it, again, it's at the number 4 QUARTERSSHOW.
yes. So tell your friends, post up. You know how we always go live. Next week, we haven't decided on Tuesday or Thursday yet. We actually want the fans to let us know what day is better, Tuesday or Thursday. I've kept hearing some Thursdays were better than Tuesdays, but we'll see. Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. This James Bond special was pretty cool. Once again, Sean Connery, who passed away.
R.I.P.
The GOAT. We can at least agree that he's the GOAT.
Yes.
Yes.
Whether who's the,
Yes.
No, number 2, we can have our disagreements, but we can
Yes.
at least agree on the GOAT.
Number 2 is Pierce Brosnan. But you're right. Sean Connery is number 1.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you guys.